Okay, thank you for joining the Here's the Deal channel. We are live. If you can hear me, give me a 5x5 just so I know I'm not speaking into the wind. And also let me know if you can hear this audio right here.
Yeah.
Let's get into the chat room. What's up, Savage KP? News Now Ninja, how you doing, man? Let me know if you guys can hear me, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste anybody's time here. Try to keep this as short as possible. 5x5. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to highlight this video right here by one of the people. I've got his YouTube channel name right here. I think you're really going to enjoy this because this was a cordial conversation this gentleman had with a deputy who pulled him over for doing 65 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. And he gave him something called a notice of liability. We're going to go over that in a second, but I want to go over this particular video first and the dynamite interaction that he had with this law enforcement officer. Before we get started with the video, though, I just want to read what's under this video. Sometimes we must lead by example. He says, I reserve my rights. The right to private affairs without being disturbed, without due process of law, the right not to be arrested without a warrant. And he gives us USC 1-308 reserved rights, which I pulled up right here. It's called the performance or acceptance under the reservation of rights. And the definition of arrest is to be stopped by police, made to stand still, detained, temporarily detained, all the very definition of arrest. Own your own authority. We, the people, have the right to life, liberty, and happiness. And what I like about freedom is it's super simple and it's super basic. Everybody can understand this. You have unalienable, immutable, constitutionally protected rights. I reserve my right while making this video with my rights in mind. And then he gives a website that we're going to go over here in a second. But I want to go ahead and get into this interaction after we go over two real quick things. 18 USC 241, conspiracy against rights, and 18 USC 242, deprivation of rights. And note the wording. The wording is super powerful, guys. And I understand when there are laws on the books, the law enforcers like to look away from the law and like to just assert their own arbitrary edicts. But listen to this terminology. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or the laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, because cops will become retaliatory if you exercise your rights, because you exercising your rights offends them. And when they get offended, they start to retaliate. It says if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway. Oh, you mean like in a costume with a badge and a utility belt and saying, I come with the authority of the state, I'm a law enforcer. In disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise and enjoyment of any right or privilege so secured, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned, and let me just skip to the gist of it right here, or maybe sentenced to what? That's how serious 18 USC 241 is if somebody's caught conspiring against somebody's rights to remove their unalienable right to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. Similarly, 18 USC 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Whoever, we've talked about this many times, judge, yep, senator, congressman, president, law enforcer, whoever, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution or the laws of the United States, or to different punishments, pains, or penalties, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned, or maybe what? Yeah, same wording. So that's how powerful 18 USC, that's how serious and powerful 18 USC 242, deprivation of rights under color of law, in 241 conspiracy against rights is. So with that as the backboard and the springboard for what we're about to go into, this is one of the people getting pulled over by a law enforcer for doing 65 in a 35.
17th of August, 1:49 p.m. I've been stopped. I have served my notice of liability.
Somebody was saying, somebody in here, the unmarked car disguise. Yeah, well, I would say that a uniform is disguise. You're trying to disguise the fact that you're a human being just like me. That uniform, even though they act like it, that uniform does not grant the individual wearing the uniform special rights over you and me, but they act like it does. They give preferential treatment and exercise discretion when they find out that the person they pulled over has a badge and is a law enforcement officer in another state or in another county. So in a sense, that uniform, that costume of that badged law enforcer disguises their humanity, and they act like they're not human. They act like they're above even their own laws. They act like there's something other than you are. They act higher than you. They claim a higher claim over your life and property than you because they're wearing that disguise. So that's where 18 U.S.C. 241 comes in.
When to come back. So.
Well, sir, I haven't written a ticket, I don't know how long, so obviously I'm not going to write you one.
I appreciate you.
How do you mean that that's on file with the sheriff's office?
I went down there in person and video recorded it, and have all I need to do is a FOIA request down there. Basically what it is we the people have rights. I'm not engaged in commerce. And with me not being engaged in commerce, there's no reason to be stopping me. I have right to my private affairs. The Washington State Constitution also stipulates this. You held your hand up and swore an oath to defend the Washington State Constitution against foreign enemies, both domestic and foreign. So when you held your hand up, you didn't know that this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be interrupting me. It doesn't matter if I'm doing 5 or 10 over the limit because I'm one of the people, my brother. I'm not doing it.
What was his reason? You're not supposed to be interrupting me because of what? Because I'm one of the people, my brother. You're my brother. I'm your brother. You're interrupting my flow, the flow of my day. You're hindering me. You're getting in the way of me. You're arresting my progress.
The definition of a violation is to cause harm, to damage another person, or sexually advance on you if it was unwanted. You know what I'm saying? That's the definition of a violation, to cause property damage. Out here when I'm driving, basically what you've done is I have the right to due process of law. And with you pulling me over without going and getting an arrest warrant, that makes you liable for the first trespass, just getting behind me. Then whenever you get behind me and stop me and get out and touch my vehicle, that's second trespass. When you're approaching me with your loaded weapon, that's a third trespass. You're at $1 million right there for your department and yourself.
Okay, so let me show you this notice of liability that he's talking about here. I'm going to pull up this window. This is the notice of liability that he's actually talking about. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I do want to show you, I want to direct your attention to this down here. Here's the first trespass he's talking about. First trespass, minimum fee and charge of $100,000 USD and charge of treason. Second trespass, minimum fee and charge of $200,000 USD and charge of treason. This is the notice of liability that he's actually already handed to the deputy. Per all additional trespass, minimum fee and charge of $1 million USD and charge of treason. And what I'm going to do is every link that we go over on this live stream right here, I'll make sure that I put it in the description and the pinned comment so you can actually get a copy of this right here. And actually he leaves some parts blank right here so you can fill in your own city, state, and county. And you can basically create your own notice of liability that you can hand to the law enforcement agent in your area.
This is on file. And the reason that I'm doing this is to teach other people.
Well, you know, you're being audibly and visually recorded.
That's fine, you are too. Yeah, that's good. So, and the reason that I need to do this is because to teach my brothers and sisters their rights out here. They need to see this go on. They need to see you not give me a ticket so that they understand that they have their rights, that they too can own their rights and own their authority. We have our rights. We are over the police. We are the highest law enforcement. You're the highest law enforcement of the county. You instruct the FBI, the DEA, the ATF. I know my rights, sir.
And that's actually really interesting. The people abdicate their rights and responsibilities when a law enforcer shows up. And when the FBI, ATF, or the DEA shows up as federal law enforcement agents, the local sheriff does what? They usually step down, or they say, we're working in concert with federal authorities and local and state police. You don't step down. So the people shouldn't be giving up their rights, not one iota of their rights. And the local sheriff, who's supposed to be an elected official, is not supposed to be abdicating his rights when a federal official steps in.
I know what you guys are supposed to be out here doing, and I know what you're not supposed to be out here doing. That's why every time I see one of you guys pull over another one of my people, I stop and I tell you guys every chance I get. This is how.
When I see you pulling over one of my people, this is what I love about this video, is he's taking all this stuff personally. It's almost as if, oh, he just pulled over my son, my daughter, my mom, my dad, my aunt, my uncle, my brother, my sister. Those are my people you're pulling over. That's my people you're harassing. That's my people that you're executing that economic terrorism on as you give them a citation that they can't afford.
We do it, sir. But I appreciate you and your time and the education.
Well, I understand all that, and I appreciate what you're saying. But the problem that I have is, if we had no speed limits,
I have liberty. That's for commerce. That's for people. That's for a truck driver, a bus driver, a taxi driver. Those people that are engaged in commerce are supposed to be following those speed limits, not the people.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm trying to make my point to you.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Because, so if we don't have speed limits, or speed limits for anybody that's not doing commerce, and people go through stop signs and they go through speed, or they go 50 miles an hour in a desert area and they have a crash, what happens then?
Well, then they've caused a violation, my good man. If I were to hit somebody,
I love how he's talking. Well, then they've caused a violation, my good man. He's calling him his brother. He's bringing him mentally out of his uniform down into the realm of humanity. So now they can have a conversation as two men who don't want to harm one another. They don't want to steal from one another. They don't want to damage people's property. They just want to meet on the common ground of understanding and humanity. I love this. This is great.
Run off the road and I take out your power pole, that's definition of violation. I'll be talking to somebody like you, paying my respectable ticket. Okay?
And I guess here's one of my questions is that for you to go down the road, not engaging in commerce, and drive whatever speed limit you want.
That's our beautiful country, sir.
And there was an accident to occur.
Now you're getting on hypotheticals, things that didn't happen. But see, now that's where you're out of your jurisdiction, as well as you're a witness, right?
And that gives the law enforcers all these hypotheticals gives the law enforcement officer, it gives the congressman and the senator. But what if this happens? Well, we got to steal a whole lot of money from you. What if this right here happens? Well, we got to intrude on your rights and infringe on your rights. You want to keep people safe, don't you? They get into all these hypotheticals and they use the hypothetical as a justification to steal more rights, to take away more of your money. Well, look, imagine how many accidents there would be if we didn't have these speed limit laws. Imagine how many accidents we've averted because we got the state troopers out there giving you all these tickets. And you can't even prove that.
Take your affidavit and your witness. Your conflict of interest, because you are a deputy and you're your own witness, going after the people. Do you see the conflict of interest in that too? We can go all day on this back and forth, but I really got to get to work.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
The reason I didn't write you tickets is I like to, every time I make a contact, I like to try to give somebody I've never contacted.
Right.
Give them a break.
Right.
There's no sense in scratching out a ticket.
Okay.
I'm trying to get money out of everybody, so.
I understand. Well, even if you try to, they've already, go look me up, brother. They've already tried to, and I didn't pay it. And it's because of no contract.
That's just to you.
It's not up to me. It's up to your sheriff, number one.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm not going to hold you up.
All right. I appreciate you. Have a good day, brother.
And I love that. It's because I'm not under contract. I'm not contracted with you. Therefore, I don't have an obligation and a duty to do anything that you say. I'm not under contract. I'm not driving commercially. I'm not driving for hire. I'm not using the roadways to make money. I'm just traveling down the road, taking my property from point A to point B, and you have no jurisdiction over me.
And notice how we do that.
Watch how fast he goes. He's already doing 60.
Pull me over for speeding. There he is.
He's up to 80 now. Now he's doing 90. Approaching 100.
Now the point I want to make to you all is this. He said he wouldn't scratch out a ticket because he knows he's got a do not detain status. I'm not supposed to be stopped. He didn't run the plates before he pulled me over. That's why I handed him my notice of liability. So, own your authority, everybody. Stand on it. That's all you need to do. Be safe. God bless.
I love that. You're not supposed to be stopped. It's not that he got away with driving 65 in a 35. It's that he wasn't supposed to be stopped and infringed upon in the first place or hindered in any way. Why? Because he doesn't have a contract with the guy that pulled him over. He has no duty or obligation to him or the state he represents or the jurisdiction that that cop thinks he has over anybody. There is no obligation. When there is no contract, there's no obligation. You didn't sign a contract saying, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to obey these laws or whatever. Now, some people could make the argument, well, if you have a driver's license, that's your signature saying you're going to obey these laws. And that might be another conversation that we definitely need to have. Because if by you signing on the dotted line for a driver's license, you're saying that you're going to obey all the laws of the road, all the traffic laws, maybe the answer is to withdraw that consent, because it's not too late to withdraw consent. Let me go over this oral health thing that he has right here. Here is the NOL, Notice of Liability for Americans. It's a one-page document. I'm going to pull that back up on the screen. And like I said, I'm going to include in this, let me bring this back up. I'm going to include in this the link for 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy against rights, 242, deprivation of rights under color of law, 28 U.S.C. 1746, unsworn declarations. We'll do the USCC 1-308, performance or acceptance under reservation of rights. All these will be under there, okay? And including this document that I'm bringing up on the screen right here. But this is basically what he was giving them, a notice of liability. In other words, you, officer or sheriff, deputy, whatever, you are on notice that you are going to be personally, financially held responsible and liable, as well as your department, for hindering my rights as a human being. I wouldn't do that to you. I don't expect you to do that to me. So some people might go, oh, he got out of a ticket. No. He was never supposed to get pulled over in the first place unless he actually did violate somebody. He harmed them. He threatened to harm them. He damaged their property and refused to pay for it or whatever. But I wanted to bring this up because this is something that it's foreign to a lot of people. A lot of people do not understand that they are easily giving away their rights to the lowest bidder. It's not even to the highest bidder. So the name of this YouTube channel is one of the people. I'm going to refresh this page right here and we'll see if we can get this guy some subscribers, because I think he did a great job. He kept his cool. He kept it down on the human level. He wasn't cussing out the cop. He wasn't using forced speech to assert his authority over the cop. He had a decent conversation, human to human, got that cop mentally out of his uniform to bring him down off of his high horse, because they have that high horse. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when you're dealing with somebody who's drunk on their own power, the prudent thing to do is, hey, let's just talk like human beings, man. I'm not out here hurting anybody. I'm not violating anybody or victimizing anybody. You know that deep in your heart. Let me go ahead and refresh this page. He had 98 subscribers to start with. Let's see how many. He's got 114 now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, so you can watch this in its entirety, and he's got a couple other videos too. I've already subscribed to his channel. Here is one of the people's link, and I will also put this link in the description and in the pinned comment. And this is all a learning thing, guys. And let's be honest, if you're just a regular human being like we all are, there's some fear that you have to overcome here, because the fear is you could lose your property. You could lose your freedoms. You could go to jail for the night, for the next week, or for a month, and they could forget about you. You know, you could be mistreated in prison. You could be thrown into a rape cage. They could because you taking a stand for your rights, they can slap the cuffs on you super tight and put you into a hot car and not turn on the air conditioner and kind of conveniently forget about you. So of course there's this, you know, kind of a warranted fear. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. There is something wrong with not confronting that fear and not acting in wisdom and not standing on your rights, because the easiest way to lose your rights is to not use your rights. It's not stand for and protect your rights. Because the way I consider it and think about it is this guy who is transporting his private property from one place to another, traveling on the public roadways, when he was taking a stand for himself, he was taking a stand for all of us. And he was serving as an example of, hey, this is how you do it. And I appreciate that, man. That is worth its weight in gold. So I will leave that. I'll leave all the links in the description and the pinned comment when this thing gets done rendering. I appreciate you guys joining me. That's 20 minutes and 56 seconds. Good. We're going to keep this under 22 minutes. I really appreciate you guys joining. Please do me a favor and like this video right here. Share it with everybody you know. Let one of the people know that here's the deal. Grease Monkey Videos, High Impact Flick sent you. Maybe we can get him on a live stream and kind of talk about this. I've got a lot to learn on this, guys. I have a driver's license. You know, there's no secret about that. How do you withdraw consent, and how do you do it in such a way that's, and it's not going to be convenient because you're going against the grain. Most people don't even consider this. They just fling their rights out the window and say, well, the state will probably just, you know, nothing can possibly go wrong if I turn my rights over to the local, state, and federal authorities. Yeah, something very, very bad has gone wrong. I'm going to refresh this one more time before we get out of there. Went from 114 to 100. He's got 151 subscribers now, thanks to you guys. He grew by 53 subscribers just in this live stream. Make sure you watch his videos. Watch a couple of his other videos. Let me go to his channel right here. He's got, how many videos does he have? He has 7 videos. And it looks like he's in Washington. It'd be great if you're listening to this video. I don't know what your name is, but one of the people, if you're listening to this video and you're interested in doing probably a live stream together so you can kind of lay it on the line and, you know, kind of show us your path to success, so to speak. Another good person to watch is Freedom from Government. Trent over there at Freedom from Government does a fantastic job of educating the masses. And, you know, there's a lot that we have to learn. So I will see you guys. Thank you guys very much for joining. Hit that like button right now if you can. There's 189 likes. Let's see if before the end of this video we can get over 200 likes. And please make sure you hit the like button before you leave and share this video with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, High Impact Flicks. Subscribe to me over on Here's the Deal. Subscribe to me on Grease Monkey Videos, and subscribe to me over on High Impact Flicks. I will see you guys in the next live stream. Thanks.